Grace. Now coffee correctly. Engineer Grace, in another life, you are an MC. Huh? Or even bigger, I don't know what to call it. You know how to embellish, make somebody feel so welcome. I have felt so uplifted, I must tell you. Thank you so much for your kind words. Now to all of us, I think it's also good to say we are really looking lovely, aren't we? And we are loving being this woman, this royalty we have been told about. Thank you, Engineer Grace, for representing EBK and all the council members who have come. We thank you. I would like to call the team from Engineers Board of Kenya, the management team, because when Engineer Grace lifts me up, it is not me, they lift the board up. I must acknowledge the work that all of them are doing. Please, EBK, those of you who are here, please join me on stage. I think it's important to be known, and we see that you're doing so much every day for us. Thank you. And I think we've been so graciously joined by our chief guest. Karibu sana, Anne Lagat. Tunashukuru sana. Karibuni sana. I think you can sit there. Welcome, welcome. Looking very lovely. Okay, good. So I was calling, we've just started, and we've just had the first speech by the first Vice President of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. So I'm very, very honored you've joined us. We've had a meal, so after you take your juice, soda kidogo like this, and you've relaxed, you've powdered your nose, you can also join us for a meal. So I was calling the management team of Engineers Board of Kenya because this transformation needs all of us. And I tell you, we need you. We need IK to be strong. We need each of you to be strong. It's not going to happen without all of us. So can I call EBK team? Please karibuni hapa. Beth, come. So I don't want to take for granted this team. This is just part of us, but I can tell you they are very, very dedicated, working for you day and night. So please defend us. I think we'll just say your name and hi, nothing else, because I think we don't have too much time. Well, let's start. This will be last.
Thank you very much, Registrar. My name is Goro Butu. I work with communications at EBK.
Hi, my name is Dan Mutoli. I work with registration at EBK.
My name is Chachi Luma. I work with patent registration and licensing.
Hi, my name is Florence. I work under registration and licensing.
Hello, my name is Nadia Uyama.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruth Kwamboka. I work for the communication department. Good evening, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stella Gatti. I work for policy research and strategy.
Good evening, Engineer Faith Mutuku, working with the registration and licensing department. Welcome.
Good evening, my name is Anita Kalanga. I work with the registration and licensing department.
Good evening, I'm Jacinta Kariuki. I work with Director, Capacity Building and Accreditation.
Good evening, my name is Beth Mbacha. I work at the Corporate Communications Department.
Good evening, my name is Engineer Grace Onyango. I'm the Director in charge of Capacity Building and Accreditation.
So thank you. Please give them a really, just encourage us. You have something in capacity development, you will know where to go to. But I can tell you this team is very dedicated. I joined with the board and I was quite amazed by the work that they were doing. It's almost like a religion there. So, and we are working really day and night because we know that engineering can transform lives through the work we do and the work that you do every day. So let me say this to our chief guest, Madam Lagat. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a very short notice. We met you just one week ago, and I thank you so much. I also want to thank the IEK team, the council who is here. We have management EBK, and we have all of us, and we have candidates. We are running for elections soon from the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, so we're quite hyped up. But we're very excited because that kind of vibrancy shows that there's something that is growing in the engineering space. I'll make some very brief remarks.
Of course, today we are here to celebrate, the theme is Inspire Inclusion. So we thought we'd host this dinner for our women and girls and lady engineers. I think some of us can fit into the women, but the others who feel they're still a bit small, we call them lady engineers. Karibuni sana. Thank you all for showing up. I know it was a short notice, but we thank you that you made it. So as we celebrate this Happy International Women's Day, let me say Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you very much. It feels good. So we would like to recognize the central role that is played as the board would like to recognize the central role that is played by engineers in creating an enabling environment. And also we would like to commend all women engineers for taking up this untrodden path. And we are looking forward to all that you bring forward in terms of your leadership, your entrepreneurship, your creativity, your intelligence into the space of engineering, and of course, more importantly, the inclusion of our ideas at the table. To our chief guest, we only have 8% of the engineers in Kenya are women. That translates to 2,000 or so. So this is something that is a big concern to the board. It's a big concern, I think, to the society, because it means as we are designing roads, we are designing water supplies, energy systems, our perspective is not fully taken on board. So we would want to see a lot of support towards increasing the number of women participating in this space. So the board is doing a lot of initiatives. First, we want to map where all our engineers in the country are. And specifically, we are also going to be picking gender disaggregated data. We have a survey tool. Please, we're asking you to fill it. We want to know where you are, you're in middle management, you're top management, you're just starting your career, you don't have a job. We're trying to pick all this because we can't design interventions without knowing all that. We also are going to scale up the engineering education outreach programs. I'm happy we were introduced to the outreach chair of EBK, will partner. We want to go to universities and high schools because the numbers of, even in STEM, the numbers coming through, they've improved a lot, but they're still not up, they're not at parity. Again, universities, quite a number do get discouraged, get lost, and sometimes drop out. So we want to orient everybody who is doing engineering. But it's a great field to be in. To be honest, we like it. But there are some two barriers that we find as we try climbing up this slippery road. We also, EBK, are going to be designing a leadership program. We're calling it, I think, something in leadership program. Well, women, so I don't think it's engineers, women engineers leadership program. And I think Engineer Faith Mutuku, who was here, where are you? Yes, she's our champion, so that we can be very deliberate in all the things that we want to do. We don't have funding, I'd like to admit, but we said, I think she's the one who told me, you can't always wait for funding, you can start somewhere. You can even have this kind of, like today's workshop, we can be meeting, even at the cheapest of places, and we discuss issues that are going to help us go forward. So we're also encouraging women engineers, please join us. We have very many committees, we have disciplinary cases. We try to make sure every committee we establish, 1/3 of it, at least minimum. And if more, we are okay. So, how many of us in the room know who is the first woman engineer in Kenya? Oh, you mean you know? You know because you were you licked the examination. Thank you so much, Sarah. Who else knows? So I want us to start celebrating our own, because it must have been a very lonely path for her. She was called Bibiana, I think Bibiana Muteshi. I understand she now lives in the UK. She graduated in 1976 from the University of Nairobi. So that's our first trailblazer. Second was Engineer Rosemary Komo, and she studied in Nigeria. And I think at least she's around. In fact, we were hoping she'd come in today. She didn't. But I think we have to celebrate those who went before us. They made it easier for us. They mystified it a little bit more. So, thank you so much. I had also combined my statement with a bit of the chairman's remarks. You'll allow me to go a little fast on this because I want to play for us something, a feel-good video for all of us, as we then invite our chief guest. You will let us know. We are not hurrying you up. You okay? Good. So I also just wanted to, I think we all in the room are aware about the role of the board to establish an act of parliament, so I'm really speaking to you. The Engineers Act of 2011, it's very transformational. It now looks at the full value chain of engineering and where we want to improve on the safety and public welfare in infrastructure and manufacturing processes and systems that are, systems that we have. So we have a strategic focus. For the next 5 years, what we want is to have adequate number of registered professional engineers in the country. We are aiming to get to 10,000. And ladies, you're doing very well. Incidentally, your numbers are always higher. When it comes to elective positions, we have seen a third of you have brought themselves forward. We thank you because you're only at that 7-8%, and yet we have 12 candidates out of the 36. So I think give a clap to yourselves. I think you aim high, big dreams, and I think it's only you. You just don't let yourself be limited, even by the current circumstances you find yourself in. We are also looking at compliance. We have an issue. Yes, we really have an issue of buildings which have been collapsing. I think since we don't have technical capacity, particularly in counties. That is something we're trying to work with counties to support them to improve on their engineering capacity. The other thing we're doing is, yes, we want a competent workforce of engineering, so we do a lot of capacity development programs for our engineers. We are also looking at policies that are going to export engineering services. You know, there's this talk about the African Free-Continental Agreements, and we are looking to creating that value for Kenya by exporting our services. These engineers in front of you here are very well trained and very sharp. I think they're the top fruits of our country. And given the right environment, I think we'll be able to create a lot. In fact, it would reverse the issues of importation of goods. I was, yesterday we were with a team from EBK. We went to the Kenya Tea Development Agency Authority, KTDA, and they have a subsidiary that is making a lot of products, including the handheld tea placard. They have, they're doing these things 100% in Kenya, and it's really reducing on the prices, and they're really supporting the factories to produce tea at a much lower price. This is the beauty of engineering. It's really transformative if we give it that chance. Just to conclude, as we go to the video, maybe I had 2 asks for you. We called you and you responded, and we are so glad that you did. We know you're very close to those high offices there. So you're going to introduce, I think we're going to introduce, I'm sure Engineer Faith will be able to do that, but we want to really thank you for coming. And since you're in the Office of Economic Transformation, and you advise at that high level, we are looking at how do we increase our industrialization as a country. We are also looking at all the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. There's so much that requires engineering, whether it's affordable housing, and your agricultural transformation. You're going to use more mechanized processes. We would want to see that we deliberately incorporate these brains that we have, all the engineers in Kenya, and including the women. So we want to see specific targeted programs towards that. And I can tell you, this team here is going to work very closely with the government, and we will see transformation. For us, as it is in Kenya, in Africa, Kenyan engineers, I think, are one of the most competitive. We are what it's called competitiveness. We already have gone, our Kenyan engineers went from the 80s. They've been going to Swaziland and all that, built that part of the country. When capacity was built, Southern Africa, came back, now they're in South Sudan, they're in Somalia, and they've been to Rwanda, and they've built those countries. In fact, and they've done it on their own. So we're asking for the specific government support. We believe we can export engineering services, And this, I think, is going to transform our societies. Again, I want to challenge us now as I hand it over to you. Even us, I think we must go beyond. Yes, yes, we can say, you can't keep saying, oh, I'm an engineer and I deserve it. We must go beyond. We must support our communities. I'm calling on all of us, including myself. I think I've also come to the point where I'm asking myself, exactly what do I also do? Beyond the job that you do, what are we doing? Because we know, and I think IEK did a study on the infrastructure report card, the gaps we have, whether it's water supplies, the other one, sewerage, we are looking at 30%. I mean, how are you not going to get cholera? How are we going to raise our next generation when we don't have sewerage systems? We don't have energy in our homes for our people. They're cooking with unsafe, unclean gas. So I think we also have to ask ourselves questions, and I think IEK, this is a challenge. The advocacy we are making is good about getting our space, but also how do we advocate and carry forward the society and leave no one behind? Yeah? Because what is happening is that we are continuing to leave some people back there. They continue to use unclean cooking, whatever, and here we are probably using very clean products for cooking. I would want to challenge us as well. I think this engineering that we say we are and we can do, what are we truly doing to transform our societies? And please stand up, finally, as I conclude. When we must go and aggressively look for those committees, it's not just about IEK. County governments are crying for us. We are there to give, we must give them leadership. We must give them support, technical support. So please go back to your counties, find out, discuss with your governors and the top leadership, how can we help you? Because I think I personally think we can't lose another generation to more and more of this poverty. So sorry to make a long speech on a beautiful, happy day, but I want to leave you and make you feel happy again. And I will play for you a video, and then after that I will ask engineer, I don't know whether I call the MC herself. You know, sometimes you can also mess with these protocols. If you can